You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days fans. We have got to address a scene from the Day of Days promo that's yet to air, but it's due to explode soon and in a very fiery way. Of course, I'm talking about the fire at the historic Horton House, which two people witnessed. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and before we dig into who sparks the blaze and how far it goes, please click subscribe. All right, you guys probably know, but the Day of Days promo came out in late October 2023, and I'm sure you know that Days of Our Lives tapes about 6 months ahead of when it airs. So that means everything in the promo, because it was filmed by October 2023, will air no later than April 2024. Most of the scenes in this big beefy promo have aired already. Not all of them, but most of them. There are a few still coming soon. In fact, there are 3 scenes from the beefy 2-minute plus promo that haven't aired already. And I expect these 3 could all roll out during February sweeps, and one of them definitely coming next week. So one of the 3 scenes left in the Day of Days promo is the shooting of Harris Michaels on the loading dock of the bistro. Some people I've seen on Soap Social are saying Ava shoots him accidentally. She does not. There's a man's hand with the gun in it shown on the promo. And just as Harris drops from the bullet, Ava is right there as he falls, and she holds him as he collapses. She is standing right beside him as he's shot with no gun in her hand. She cannot be holding him and doing all that and be the shooter. So no idea when this scene airs, but I do suspect it's coming in February sweeps as part of the drug storyline. Clearly, Clyde Weston might send someone to take care of the cop who's looking into his drug ring and also to threaten or punish Ava Vitale. So the next scene is of Lucas Horton in a monk's outfit, the brown kind of friar tuck looking ones. He's in one of those. It's a Franciscan monk's habit. He's creeping around, and then he runs into a woman in a big kind of strange dramatic hat. Looks kind of like his mom, Kate Roberts, when you look at just on the Day of Days promo. I expect that scene next week because spoilers say Lucas Horton sneaks out of his hiding spot above the Brady pub where he's basically kind of in witness protection. And then he gets busted by his mother, Kate, for being on the loose and not where he's supposed to be. But the scene from the promo that we really want to talk about is the house fire at the Horton place. I know many fans were absolutely horrified to see the beloved set that's been around since the early days. I believe literally since the very first episode of Days, and soon it's going to be all up in flames. And I know that a lot of you guys are hoping this is somebody's nightmare and it doesn't really happen, some kind of fantasy sequence, dream sequence, something. I was wondering that myself until I got a glimpse of some new spoilers for the week of February 5th. And then that kind of sparked something and had me looking back at the promo. So we are right in the middle of this drug storyline with Clyde Weston as the big bad wolf. And this week, Lucas talked to Everett Lynch and Chad DiMera about the drug stuff. And then Harris came in, caught them, wasn't happy about it. He promised them an exclusive if they would delay publishing Lucas's interview. So next week, Tuesday, February 6th, Chad and Everett head out to Statesville Prison to talk to Clyde, and it's clearly about the drug ring he's operating in Salem from his perch in the prison. So I cannot imagine that that's going to be a pretty chat, given that Clyde murdered Chad's wife, Abby Devereaux, in cold blood. I don't think that, I'm not even sure what these two guys from The Spectator think they're going to get out of a hardened criminal like Clyde. He is a pro at not admitting guilt and turning the tables and provoking people that are trying to ask him questions. I can bet that Clyde will try and provoke both of them, but in particular, Chad, because there's a whole lot of buttons he can push with Chad, and I'm sure he's going to say something about what he did to Abby. So I'm also certain that Clyde Weston knows that the Spectator is shining a spotlight on his drug operation, and that's making it harder for him to do business. So when I saw that promo, when I saw the spoilers about Chad being up in Clyde's face at the prison, the fire scene at the Horton House began to make more sense to me. One of the ways that Clyde is keeping his operation going is by threats of violence and actual acts of violence. He had Gabby Hernandez attacked in prison and her leg brutally broken. He also had Trip Johnson attacked at work at University Hospital. And now we have Chad coming to the prison and irritating Clyde. I expect that Clyde's outside resources that report back to him can easily tell him that Chad is living at Doug and Julie Williams' place and that his two kids are living there as well. So I'm just kind of wondering if Clyde Weston has somebody set the fire at the Horton House, maybe to punish Chad for reporting on the drugs in the Spectator, or maybe to scare Chad into stopping reporting on the drug scene at all. Hopefully the fire won't consume the entire house, but it's definitely ripping through the living room where so many iconic scenes have filmed. If that house is destroyed, that's the end of an era. And just the idea of it has upset fans. If they really do it, I think they're really going to be upset. So we'll just have to wait and see, because with Days, they don't have a big budget. And so for them to do an actual fire, that's budget stuff. And for them to destroy a set, and then go to the expense to rebuild it, that seems way out of their budget. So we'll see. In the scene from the Day of Days promo, there are two people in the house when the blaze is going. There may be more, but we only see two in the promo. That's Chad DiMera and Julie Williams. They are staring into the living room in horror as the blaze erupts and spreads across the room. So we'll see the curtains around the windows light up. The fire spreads near the sofa, over to the door, and towards the foyer. The fire is so big that Julie and Chad can't even get into the room. They're stuck in the foyer in the entryway there. Julie's screaming in horror. Chad's jaw drops. I wonder if the kids are at home, if Doug is at home. We know, even though he passed away, Bill Hayes did film more scenes as Doug Williams that are coming up. And it would be just like Clyde to burn down a house with old people and kids in it. He's totally awful like that. I wouldn't put it past him. We will likely know in February sweeps if the Horton House survives. I certainly hope that it does, and I know that fans want to see it put back the way it was. We'll see. Drop your comments on what you think about this fire. Please click subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely come back soon. As always, this is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.